You've spoken and written a lot about incubators. What are your thoughts on incubators? Do they work?
Well, again, you have to be careful of, or policymakers should be careful about programs that have catchy names, and they automatically think that it's the incubator itself, because it's a thing, it's a place, that it itself can create entrepreneurship. And by the way, I was involved in setting up the very first incubator in Israel in the 1980s. It was a private incubator. So they can be successful. I'm not against them. But like any tool, they have to be used in the right way. So I think that the most important thing about incubators is co-location of entrepreneurs is probably a good thing in general. For them at early stages to have each other to talk to get advice from each other, to share ideas and resources, that's potentially a great thing, although some entrepreneurs would feel that distracts them. And in fact, they need to be in space by themselves. So there's a downside to incubators, and I've heard entrepreneurs talk about it. A second thing, by the way, is that some entrepreneurs feel that incubators stigmatize them negatively. So if you need that help, that means you're not as strong an entrepreneur as you could be. That's true, for example, in Israel, which had the most extensive and arguably the most successful incubator program. But there are numerous incubator programs, such as Mexico's, etc., which have created hundreds and hundreds of places for entrepreneurs or self-employed people to come and meet, which really have not been successful in stimulating entrepreneurship. So again, it comes back to the notion of the entire ecosystem. But some of the mistakes in setting up incubators is, one, locating them in places where the really high potential entrepreneurs don't want to be. So they want to be in the places where there are facilities and services and lawyers and technical consultants and easy transportation. But oftentimes the incubators are located in some warehouse which is far outside of the city and nobody can get there because it's inexpensive. So locating it in the wrong places is one mistake. A second mistake is the people who run the incubators. Very oftentimes they're not people who can provide the mentoring. They know less than the entrepreneurs about the business. And if they want to provide mentoring, I think that's essential that they have some value add. And a third is the business model of the incubators. So many of the incubators are government supported, and that's very problematic because they have trouble sustaining themselves financially. I think some of the best incubators, or what you'd call incubators, the co-location spaces, are for-profit. And in fact, there's a great example right here in Boston, in Cambridge, the Cambridge Innovation Center, which has 450 companies working together in 8 floors of a building, and it's a for-profit venture that was set up, and it provides very effective services targeted to entrepreneurs to help them start up their companies. They don't give them advice, by the way. They provide no mentoring, and they don't call themselves an incubator. But they're a co-location, which gives entrepreneurs an environment that they really, really like.